Hey, Benchwarmers. Welcome back to the Seniors on JV podcast. I'm Kennedy Smith here with my co-hosts, Jake Lanier and Ryan Steer. How y'all doing?
I'm just going to say this side of the desk feels really weird. I feel like you're interviewing us.
I am. How does it feel over there?
Being
Ryan?
on the desk is great. I will say. I'm not in my little nook anymore.
You've been upgraded.
I've been promoted temporarily.
Ryan, we can move you back to the corner. We'll see how it feels.
No, we're not going to do that, are we? That'd be rude.
Maybe.
Tomorrow.
So we had some interviews lined up this week, and one of them ended up having to be rescheduled or whatever. So we decided might as well just stick to the studio time and do our very first podcast with just the three Benchwarmers and kind of talking about everything A&M Athletics, everything athletics in general, not just here in Aggieland, and then some life updates, podcast updates, and a whole bunch of Jake's thoughts.
Yeah, but I really think like our first original episode 00 was I guess in the end of January, and like from
in
now,
your living room?
In my living room. From now until then, there's been such a growth and so many things that we've done differently and like experienced. So I feel like we're a little better by ourselves. So hopefully you'll see some growth in our podcasting skills.
Right. Hopefully we can get through this, even though we don't have the crutch of other people to work with us. I mean, we sit in y'all's living room all the time and just talk. So it should be the same thing, right?
We should.
Right.
Theoretically.
All right, so I guess we'll start with a little podcast update where we are now versus where we were episode 00. What episode number is this?
13, I think.
13 or
13?
14?
Yeah. I think 12 was Denver and Anthony.
Oh,
And then we
That just came
still
out.
have
Check it out.
the secret pod that we've never released yet.
Oh, yeah.
the Bryce
In the
Deadman.
The
living
Bryce
room.
Deadman
In the
pod
living
that
room.
I
Yeah.
think I might actually edit this week and maybe do a little secret release.
Secret release. I love
Mhm.
that. That was actually such a fun one. I loved Bryce. He's like one of my best friends, and he gave such funny stories during that episode. We're going to have to edit it a lot, though. 'cause
He's
there's
probably
a lot of-
wondering, like, if it's ever going to get posted.
Oh, I told him we were going to
Oh,
save
okay.
it, but
Cool,
there's a lot
cool.
of curse words. We're going to have to edit it a lot.
Yeah, it was very candid, if to say the least.
But it was great.
But-
So let's reflect. We got Jimbo on the podcast. Like, we never sat down and really like talked about that.
It all happened so fast.
It happened so fast. It was like meet Brookshire Brothers now.
It was like an 18-hour, 24-hour turnaround.
Right. I got a text message saying that, okay, Jimbo's confirmed. And that was like 10 p.m. the night before. And he was going to be in here at 11 a.m. the next morning. And so we met at Brookshire Brothers. We planned for like 3 hours, so stressed out. We got all the decorations to do like a rodeo, like country theme.
Some people liked the decorations. Some people
in
didn't.
that podcast, forgot to mention like why we were doing a theme, because we do themes on a lot of our podcasts. So I like was so nervous for Jimbo because it's such like a big deal. And so I forgot to mention like why there was a floating horse behind his head. And it was just,
And you cranked down the AC because before he came in, we were rushing to set it
Right.
up, and Kennedy's on my shoulders trying to like tie these, I guess, horses behind us, and I'm like profusely sweating because I'm wearing a
It was,
jean
like, 80
jacket.
degrees in
It was
here.
super hot. So Kennedy cranks down the AC all the way down, and that's why the air was blowing so
and
much.
the
So
horse
the horse
starts
was just
swaying
flying
right when the podcast starts. So I didn't have time to move it. Jimbo's on a very like strict schedule. And so the entire time this horse is like bucking behind his head. And all of the comments on Tech
Oh, they had a
and
field day.
They had a
field
field
day.
day.
Some people liked it. Some
Some
kind
people
of
are
they
like,
played it.
what is this horse blank just going behind Jimbo? Like, we got to be professional. I was like, you know
We're doing
what?
our best. We're doing our best, I
You can't
promise.
win them all. You really can't.
My favorite thing with Jimbo when he came in, like everyone kind of like rushed to the front to like introduce, and me and Ryan were still trying to set up everything, and then Ryan is like shaking, and I like look at Ryan, I'm like, Ryan, calm down.
I drank a Monster that day. I was
Why'd you do
locked
that?
in. I was zoned in.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know. I just had to get up for it. It was podcast of the.
There wasn't enough anxiety with that podcast.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how we even got him? Because a lot of people that know me around campus, they're like, oh, congrats on Jimbo, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't get him on. Like a majority of the guests, like I'm the talent acquisitions. But this one was like purely Kennedy, and Kennedy's
Do I
like
need
doing.
to reveal my secret
Your
sources?
sources.
I think you should.
I think anyone who knows me can probably guess, but my mother, she helped quite a bit. My mom knows kind of,
Shout out, Patty.
shout out Patty Smith. She kind of knows everyone who is anyone in Houston and Texas sports. So she was talking to him about her Houston Sports Awards and if he was going to be in attendance, which most years he is. He had a conflict this year. But I was like, Mom, you've got a call set up with him tomorrow. Slip in the podcast. Just mention it. We're across the street, like
She's our
Bright's
best
right there.
salesman.
Yeah, I was like, just like slip it in,
Saleswoman.
see if he would do it. And so like in the conversation they were having, she's like, oh, my daughter has a podcast at TechSags. Want to do it? And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. Like set it up with my assistant. And it just happened within 24 hours, and it was the coolest thing ever. So shout out Patty Smith. That's how that happened. So
He was such a cool guy. Oh my gosh.
he was so nice. So nice. But he wouldn't wear my ascot.
And,
A little bandana.
Like,
Yeah, he
you
didn't
think
wanna-
about like in his perspective, he walks in, we're just college students. We have these like themes, we have horses floating around, and he was so cool about it.
He was laughing.
Yeah, he was laughing. He was having a great time.
And
He could have easily showed up and just like, this is stupid. Like, I'm way above this, but he embraced it for sure.
He was a little stupid.
Even when
but-
he did the interview with Lucci and Nuno, like, you don't have to talk when you interview him. He just like
No.
he'll answer the questions for you, and he kind of knows what you want to know. So he just like literally just goes through every single like position group, and it's actually like ridiculous how he can just like rip off names.
It was the biggest clip ever when I was just like, how's spring going? He went for 7 minutes straight, went down the entire roster of the
Didn't
team.
breathe in between it.
Did not breathe and explained everything. And I was like, oh, well, the interview's done. We don't need to know anymore after that. It was great. So let's talk a little bit about just athletics in general here around A&M. One big thing I feel like is going on right now is all the renovations. Isn't it called like the Centennial Project?
for the 100 years.
Right.
That video was awesome that they posted.
Right.
If you didn't see
Everything's
it on
getting
the 12
upgraded.
man.
Everything. Sam, do we have a picture of what those upgrades look like? Let's see if we can throw it on the board if you do. But
Yeah, I'll throw them
new
on
indoor
real
track,
quick.
new football facilities,
New academic buildings.
new academic buildings.
New
I'm
football only eating area. That's what I was worried about.
I'm curious. Is it like football's now going to be
They're going to be separate.
for food
I think so. And academics.
and academics?
And academics.
Okay, so the one that's taking over where the current indoor football facility is that where all football is going to be? Or are they going to be in the Bright football complex?
They're going to go down, like, it's going to be like a walkway. Like, when you look at Bright, like, the building right now, there's going to be buildings, like, down it. It's going to be kind of like a little walkway. So there's going to be, like, their track or their weight room, then, like, their own, like, locker rooms, and then, like, academic and food going down, like, an alleyway. And then the old outdoor fields are still going to be there. And there's just going to be a massive indoor that takes over the old indoor.
So are
and the
they
indoor
going to
track.
football players are going to be in the new facility and then all the regular athletes are going to be in the
But that's
normal
how
Bright?
that's how a lot of schools do it. They have football only facilities.
Oh, here it
Oh yeah,
is.
here this is the little like walkway, I guess.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
so where is this then? I can't tell. Is this
Isn't it on
So
Wellborn?
that is looking at the old. Oh, we can look here so we don't
Oh,
get
yeah.
out of the things. That's I believe the old weight room, and then you're staring at where the fields.
So they're
used
giving
to
us
be.
a new Bright?
No, they're giving football a new Bright. Football's gonna have their own.
Football's
thing.
king, Kennedy. You should know this.
I know. I
Football
just can't tell
funds
if
like
that's
almost every
straight
other
ahead
sport.
or if that's to the left. If you're
It's-
looking at the football stadium.
That's
That's to the left?
That's to the left.
Okay. So then that'll just be football players
Yeah.
and we'll remain where we are.
Yeah,
I say we. This will be in 2 years. We're
I
gone.
actually saw when they were talking about the football indoor or like the actual looks of it. I think it looks awesome. And on the
I know, it's
forums,
sick.
and they were
There's a lot of people that don't
That
like
didn't
how
like
it
it.
looks. They
They
think it
didn't
looks
like
really
it.
ugly. I think it looks like an eyesore just on Wellborn.
I think it's hilarious. Someone else pointed out, but it's called the Donor Athletic Complex because the guy's
They haven't
name
chosen yet.
is well, no. It's actually a guy. His name is Donor.
Oh, really?
Yes, his name is
Oh
Donor.
my gosh.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I thought they were just like waiting to
And-
choose the donors.
Oh, I
They
thought
just,
we were
like,
just
putting
saying
do you
like
think-
we've
do you
got
think-
some big donors.
Do you
This
think
is from everyone.
Billy purposely did that tweet saying so it's $200 million.
Yeah.
We raised 170 of it. Do you think he purposely tweeted that to just cause a stir? Because they're like,
Absolutely.
oh, where did that $30 million go? Talking about the
Absolutely.
recruiting.
That
I
did not
think
even cross my mind.
I think he did it on
Absolutely.
purpose.
Oh,
I haven't
absolutely.
seen him in the
See,
office.
I
but-
would have assumed that he did that to kind of like encourage other people
No,
to
I think he was
donate the rest of the
he
30.
he was stirring the pot.
He was stirring the pot 100%. Respect.
But then
I didn't get that.
But then it's like a drop in the bucket, but it's like that's still 200. See, Kenny, this is a better view. You can kind of see it better.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. So the regular athletes are going to stay where we are
Yeah.
in that main building.
And they're gonna have
and then
that
all of
whole
football
thing.
gets 3 times as much. Even
They
though-
deserve it.
Yeah, whatever they do.
I think. Oh, that's
there's the
that's
indoor
a
track.
pretty track.
Yeah, it's actually going to be like a 360. Coach Henry was talking about they might make an upper deck where it's like a walking track above for people to look down and watch. I could be wrong.
Is it just
but-
going to be 200 meters, right?
Yeah,
like
they're
Yeah,
all
always,
all
200
indoor
meters.
tracks are 200
But
meters.
is it
that's-
going to be sloped at all? Like, you know how like around
Banks.
curves?
It'll bank up.
Yeah, indoor tracks have to be banked.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would like
But-
hurt someone if they didn't.
One of the biggest factors, we have huge stands on one side, but other universities have it all the way around. So it's like you're kind of like on top of it all the way around because that's what I like about Arkansas. That's what I like about Clemson.
Right, but I feel like it's not as professional. Like we've got like actual seating. They have
Yeah.
like bleachers. So I feel
But
like
this is
us
gonna be
getting all
both
around
and all the way
and
around.
seating, where we already have the best indoor facility in the country, but this is going to like upgrade it so far beyond. So like we will be the Oregon of indoor track.
Well,
no touching us.
Yeah. I think when we talk about all these these facility upgrades, that was kind of the big thing, the arms race of getting recruits. But nowadays it's like, how much are they getting paid?
Well, everyone has nice facilities these days.
Billy made a good point though. We're talking like, oh yeah, A&M paid like $30 million, even though like everyone's saying that's BS. But I mean, look at our facilities. Like that's where the money is really all going. Like why would someone not?
But how should we split that? Like, should we do it like 50-50, like facilities, and then 50% to the athletes? Because if I'm an athlete and I'm getting paid 50% more to go somewhere else right out of school, and the schools are basically equivalent, why would I not go to the school that I can guarantee?
Well, you have to keep in mind though, like the school has nothing to do with.
Yeah, I know it's the collective.
But like, if the donors are willing to like make NIL deals with the athletes, where would you want the money to go? You're saying
it's the donor money it's traditionally it went straight to the 12-man foundation, and then they're divvying it up. But now there's these collectives outside of the university because they can't be involved. So it's like, how do these donors pick which way they're going to donate money? It's like kind of like where I see it. Mm-hmm. And if I'm a donor, I think I'd rather get the better players in football because Kyle Field looks amazing.
Yeah. How much more can you put?
How much more can you put towards Kyle Field? And their locker room right now already looks amazing.
Yeah.
I guess people.
So they're getting a new locker room, even though I feel like this one's brand new.
I think they're going to have a practice locker room and a game locker room.
Seems a little excessive, but whatever.
Well, I mean, let's plug Stacked real quick. I feel like Stacked is a good way for donors to kind of put their money towards something that's like tangible. It's not like, oh, I'm signing a bunch of this money.
They get something out of it.
Yeah, to get the kid's autograph or something. Like you can give this money to Stacked and get actual interviews. And
they get to listen to us talk.
Get to listen to us talk.
What a joy.
What a pleasure. And it's not only like football, it goes to all of athletics, you know? Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's a good way to do it. I
think these facility upgrades, they kind of just coincide with how A&M Athletics is doing as a whole. I mean, you look at every sport. Football's obviously on the rise. Football's king, but then you look at, basketball had a great season. Buzz has grown the program. Baseball's on the rise. They're playing very well right now. They're taking series from Arkansas, killing Dallas Baptist. Tennis just won the SEC championship.
Ranked number one in the nation.
Number one in the nation.
Yeah. Should we just go through A&M sports right now?
I
feel like we should just do a little rundown. So
basketball, we already know. That was awesome. Everyone knows about
I feel like we should talk about baseball.
Well, one thing about basketball is we did have some transfers. So we lost Marcus during the season, who originally was our starting point guard.
Hassan Diarra
is a big loss.
I was kind of surprised by that.
Because if you're looking at like our four most important players, we probably have Henry, Tyrese, Wade, and Manny. Those are probably our big four. Mm-hmm. And then our fifth, our like next kind of bucket, I'd say is like Diarra, Hefner, and then one of our big guys. And we just lost probably one of our best scorers.
Yeah, it's definitely a big loss. You have to assume that Buzz is going to do something in the portal. I've seen on Twitter there's like a bunch of players that are in the portal A&M has showed interest in. So
Deuce Harmon's brother.
Yeah, maybe.
We've got a while to figure that one out. That season just ended. Let's talk about baseball, track, tennis, football, because that's kind of what's going on right now.
Okay. Baseball.
We
are ranked for the first time this season.
Love that.
Honestly, should be ranked a little higher. Our game yesterday versus Sam Houston rained out, I assume.
Yeah. The fields were still so wet from raining.
They're not rescheduling that game.
Yeah.
I guess it's not worth messing up the Olsen for a Tuesday game against Sam Houston. No. And a little rest before Vanderbilt series.
Huge series against Vanderbilt.
That just reminds me, I actually snuck onto Olsen Field one time a few years ago, just like in the middle of the night. I don't know why. I was hanging out with friends.
Pre-ASA?
Maybe it was ASA.
Okay.
No. And I was just doing backflips on the field, and it had just rained, and my like muddy footprints.
You can do backflips?
Yeah, I'm trying out to be a Texans cheerleader. I can't do it right now. I'm gonna do it on the table.
That'd be kind of cool.
No, but I'm actually trying out to be a Texans cheerleader. We'll get to more of that later when we talk about career stuff. But yeah.
I mean, big series against Vanderbilt this weekend. You definitely have to keep the momentum going. Because I feel like if we lose this series, we might get booed out of the rankings. I mean, if we get swept, or I think if we take one out of the three, we would stay ranked. But if we're getting swept, would probably knock us out. So we have to keep the wave going and keep up this.
I think when we hire these big splash hires like Jimbo, Slosh, Buzz, we're paying them a lot of money. They're top 10 in their respected salaries. Mm-hmm. And we expect just like an instant switch, but it takes a couple years. Buzz had a lot of heat at the beginning of the year, and then we turned it around, and now everyone's like feeling the buzz.
You just
and
have
then,
to think
and then
about
Slosh were still in the first year, but we were struggling at the beginning. We lost series to UPenn at home, and then now it's like, okay, our pitching is finally turning around, and we're hitting the ball.
Well, it takes like 2 or 3 years to even have the coach have their own team.
Yeah,
because a lot of players, they're left from other coaches, and yeah, they're great, but like it's not who that coach built, you know? So Slosh is still like, using a team that's like barely who he chose.
Well, you look at the basketball team, the state of the basketball team the last 2 years before Buzz got there, even the first year Buzz got there, the talent was, compared to what it is now and what it's going to be at, it was.
We made the Sweet 16 though.
No, I'm talking about after that. Though. After that to now, the talent gap is monumental, I would say.
Right.
It's all just going to be recruiting. But tennis girls did just win SEC
Killer.
regular season and SEC tournament, and now we're ranked number 1.
That's awesome.
I don't think this has ever happened.
I've never seen that happen.
Can we get a facility upgrade for the tennis team? Have you seen it? It's an eyesore.
Is
I
it
wouldn't
really?
call it an eyesore.
Where
I
is
think
it at?
It's by
it's over
Penberthy,
by
by
the PF.
it's on the other side. It goes like the rec,
Softball.
and then it goes Reed, and then it's tennis.
It's not pretty, and it's probably the oldest facility.
It probably is one of the older ones. I think it's a good facility, but they obviously deserve upgrades. I mean, they're killing it. So I think if they got a national championship or something,
You have to reward that.
They're gonna get some upgrades because everyone else is right now. You know.
I just think it's so awesome. As a female tennis player, there's like 7 girls on the team, and they all have full rides. It's like 7 for 7. With Title IX, they like if you're on the A&M tennis team, you're all in full rides.
What a dream.
What a dream. And I know that stipend
Track
check
is like
nice.
4% of the people might have near a full ride. You know?
Maybe. I guess another thing within football, the NFL draft is this weekend, and we have a plethora of players.
Yeah.
I think we should go down the line of each
Aaron,
player.
DeMarvin, Leon, Kenyon, Jalen, Isaiah, Tyree, Michael, and Seth.
Let it be known, Ryan wrote down those names for Kennedy to read.
Yes.
No,
Kennedy
those
knew
were off the
one,
dome.
that being Aaron Hansford. Just making that clear.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we're buddies.
We're gonna go down the line. Aaron
know the other guys.
Hansford, linebacker, came in as a receiver, gained some weight,
It's quite the switch.
kind of filled the role that we needed, a gap in our
He
team.
deserves to be drafted. He's a sweetheart.
I think
I really wish we still had Aaron Hansford for this season, considering
Yes.
how much of a gap or how much of a
And we didn't get a lot of
Question
him. I
mark
feel like he was hurt
linebackers.
for a lot of his career here.
yeah, but his back end was so good. Him
Yeah,
and
it
him
was.
and Buddy, those that
fly
one
around
year
the
was
field.
so nice.
They fly.
Buddy was a sweetheart too.
So round prediction, Kennedy, go.
Oh God, don't put that on
Yeah,
me.
just
I'm gonna ask y'all.
be
Round
optimistic.
prediction. 3.
I think Aaron Hansford is a perfect special teams player and can work his way with more reps. I'm gonna say 4 to 5.
I'm saying day 3, probably. He has the
Day 3 is 4 and out.
Jake, I know my sport.
Okay,
He's-
let's make
Come on.
sure.
he's a great athlete. I would just say linebacker is just it's a position that's not valued the same as offensive line, quarterback, obviously DB, defensive line. So he's just gonna get pushed back in the rounds. But I think he's definitely a day 3 steal.
But he,
Buddy
For me,
Johnson.
I'm just
Buddy
saying-
Johnson was the 140th pick in
That's
round 4. So that's kind of like my basis. Like, was he better than Buddy? Is he at Buddy's like kind of like talent level? So
Yeah.
4th or 5th.
I'm just throwing rounds out there. I have really no clue. But he's one of those guys where he might not like be star-studded the moment he gets there, but he's such a hard worker, and I feel like he's such a well-rounded person. He'll bring a lot to the team that's not just like plays.
He reminds me of Grant Stewart from our area. You know,
Yeah.
Oak Ridge, long hair, went to University of Houston,
Yeah.
and now he was actually Mr. Irrelevant. The last pick was on the Buccaneers, and now he has Head and Shoulders commercials.
Right.
And I played Pee Wee football with him, and he decked me. But I always knew he was going to be a good player, even though.
Well, Aaron reminds me more of like Justin Reed, and I'm not talking about like talent on the field, but just I don't know. He seems like the guy that would be very much like involved in the community and stuff,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
great for the team.
Okay. DeMarvin Leal. Originally coming into the season, there was all these talks about A&M having like 4 first-round picks. And DeMarvin was kind of like a shoe-in to be one of those players. As an interior kind of defensive lineman, those aren't the flashiest players, but they make a big impact on your defense. So it's kind of up in the air. I kind of see him more mid-second. Kind of comparing him to like Justin Matabike, slid out of the first round. It's kind of that second, third round guy. But
I think he's locked second round. I would say top 10, 15 picks of the second round is kind of what I've been seeing in mock drafts. It's definitely a player that has played a lot, obviously. He's played as a freshman. A lot of talent. They said his tape hasn't been the greatest, but we all know what he can do. I mean, he'd be a great addition to any team.
All right, what about Leon O'Neal?
Leon's my favorite player on the team.
100%.
Coming into, because we were
100%.
he's my class here. Coming in, I was like, wake him up. This guy is so annoying. So annoying. Because he talked so much on Twitter. In his freshman year, he did nothing. He was like the most vocal player, but never touched the field.
I've got to really pivot here. You said the whole wake 'em up thing. I feel like some players give themselves like a catchphrase.
I like it.
I never knew what Kellen's meant. Nink?
I don't know.
I never knew, and I asked him many times.
It's no interceptions, no kicks. He's a San Antonio boy.
How did you figure that out?
Actually, I have heard that.
Yeah.
But back to Leon.
Sorry,
Back
I wanted to know that
because
for
think about
5
no
years.
interceptions. You don't throw interceptions, no kicks. If you're not kicking, then
No,
you're scoring a
I
touchdown
understand
every
what you
drive.
mean, but like, how'd you figure it out? Did someone tweet it or something? I've been asking for years.
So he's from San Antonio, and I just know he went to Reagan, which was our rival high school, and I know people that were friends with him, and
you said Nink back then.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Finally figured it out. Thank you.
Either said it back then, or they just know him. They've asked him, and that's
Or
that's
Ryan's
what
just
I've told.
spreading rumors.
I'm
But
just spreading rumors.
Leon
Right.
O'Neal is literally my favorite player. I think he'll be in the 5th or 6th round just off of, but he's going to make the roster and he's going to make an impact.
Absolutely.
Whatever way.
He was the heart and soul of our defense, I would say, last season.
His coverage got so much better.
He
It was
was-
like his tackling was a liability originally. Then he decided to wrap up. He could make some tackles. And then his coverage.
He was
tremendously
rated
improved.
the highest rated safety in coverage in the SEC, which is a huge deal
By Pro
considering
Football Focus?
by Pro Football Focus, considering what the SEC produces in the secondary.
All right. So what about Kenyon Green?
Kenyon Green is such a Swiss Army knife. And if
Cowboys, please.
If we didn't have Kenyon Green on our O-line to literally play every position but center this last year, it would have been
It would have been even
horrible.
worse
It
than it
would've
already
been
was.
horrible.
It would have been worse than it even was.
He had to do so much, and I just think his versatility. I think Kenyon is the one I'd say has the chance to be a first-round pick, and I think he's deservingly so.
I would just say that, yeah, like NFL teams, they value tackles more than interior offensive linemen, which is why he could slide into the second round. But like Leal, they said he's top 10 pick in the second round. He's going to be a rock solid interior offensive lineman. Hopefully the Cowboys draft him. We need that.
All right. Jalen Weidemeyer. What are our thoughts?
This is tough because he was
He
a
should have came back.
top 2 tight end beginning of the season. Obviously, the offense was not what we wanted it to be considering the injuries.
Drops.
And
Jake feels really opinionated on this. Why do you think he should have come back? Is that your opinion or is this
I
common?
think for his sake, why take advantage? You're one of the biggest players in A&M. Take advantage of the NIL, and then solidify yourself as a first or second round pick. He was supposed to be that, and he's just falling.
he would have been such a huge part of the offense next year with probably improved quarterback play, improved offensive line. But he had a horrible combine. He ran
Over a 5.
Over a 5. If you're an athletic receiving tight end, you cannot run that slow. He had a horrible vertical. For being a receiving tight end, you need to be extremely athletic, and he performed very poorly in those areas.
But we love you, Jalen.
We love you, Jalen, but
We wish
Odds
you
of
came
him
back.
watching low, but we love
Yes.
you.
Isaiah
All right,
Spiller.
Isaiah Spiller.
I think he's the every down back. I kind of compared his relationship with A-Chain as kind of like a Ben Tate, Arian Foster on the Texans, where like they both like had their own advantages.
Spiller's in
and
between the
worked
tackles
together.
and A-Chain's more of an
Yeah,
outside
they worked
on the
together
edge.
because it was like ground and pound, A-Chain. So like a lot of people are like, oh, I want A-Chain in, and like I want A-Chain in a lot too. But I think Isaiah is really good and really shifty and can relate more to the pro game than the college game.
All right, round guess then.
He's a second round pick, I think. Second or third. Second or third.
You're going to go second?
I'm going to say back in second, beginning of third. I will say, being in the NFL, you have to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield, and he improved that, I would say, last season, which is a huge.
His blocking's pretty good too.
Blocking's huge. Receiving's huge. He
I
improved.
just don't know if he can play special teams because he's not like that physically gifted.
I don't think he's being drafted to play special teams, though. I think he's
But
drafted.
that's how you make rosters.
Yes, I know, but when you're drafted in the second, third round as a running back, you're expected to play running back.
Yeah.
I would
All right,
say.
let's roll through these last three. Tyree Johnson.
Undrafted.
back end.
All right.
Day 3.
Michael Clemens.
Clemens?
Cyclops, yes.
Yes.
Second round pick, yes.
I say 3rd round pick. He's
Absolute beast mode.
He's a beast.
He's literally making so many headlines just because people are realizing how jacked he is.
Yeah.
He's massive. He's a massive human being.
Okay.
All right, NBA playoffs. We got any thoughts on those?
Ben Simmons is a fool.
We could talk about this all day.
Okay, do you know the situation with Ben Simmons?
No, I'm kind of in my own track.
It's kind of
right now.
I think it's too long of a story to explain.
I can't get my mind out of Aggieland.
But I will say that
he's a baby.
He's not a baby.
Okay, well then give me a little explanation. What's going on?
He's using a back injury to not play, and his team just got swept. But there's like kind of like an underlying like mental health issue. So I don't want to like trash him because I don't know what his situation is. But you're getting paid $40 million to play basketball. Just play basketball.
I read an article by a physical therapist in California, and he was saying that the mental health stresses can cause triggering pain, especially like in the back, is what he said.
It's a cop out.
It might be a cop out.
Is that why my back hurts so much?
But they're saying like they were down 3-0 for him to come back in the last game. Like you're not going to come back from a 3-0. There's no point even risking that, in my opinion. I understand the take that he's being a baby, and that makes sense. But I also understand not bringing him back and not risking it, and just saving for next year. Be ready for next year. Give it 100% next year.
My bold take is he's never going to play basketball again.
My dad said the same thing.
Oh wow.
Who knows?
Okay. Well, PGA Championships.
We got PGA Championship coming up. Scotty's looking to go back-to-back in majors. Who's your pick? I'm thinking.
What happened with Phil Mickelson? What's up with the beef with that? He just got out. He literally just got exiled from golf.
So what happened
What
was
do you mean?
there's a league being started, and the Saudi royalty is funding it, and they're giving out huge purses to compete with the PGA Tour. They've explained it's more of a complimentary tour. You can play both. You can play the Saudi tour and then play in the majors. But Phil Mickelson had a comment saying some bad stuff about
the PGA.
Yeah, about the PGA and supporting the Saudi league, and he was crushed for it. So he hasn't played since. This was about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Which is a huge deal. Not playing in the Masters is a huge deal. So they've been saying he's either been like silently banned, or he's just like hiding out.
Just gonna get
letting
paid off
letting
by
it-
the Saudi royalty or what?
Yeah, he said he might play in those tournaments. I don't know. It's a big deal, but PGA Championship, who do you got winning? I got Patrick Cantlay.
I'm hoping for the Ricky Fowler finally wins a major.
I don't think he's even gonna make it. He has to like play in
Gosh darn
qualifiers
it.
just to play.
Okay, well,
How's Shambo doing? He's my
hurt.
favorite.
He's hurt. He
Dang
got
it.
surgery.
Like I said,
why
I
is
don't
he
pay
your
attention
favorite?
to
Hey,
outside
He's
guys.
also my favorite.
Did Sam Bennett give you any pointers for your stacked interview with him on golf?
Oh, on my own golf game?
Yeah.
No, he didn't. I think that's like against NIL rules for like him to coach me. So I think he just watched me golf like crap.
Just watched you like shank it.
And no, I edited up that interview, but at the very end I put like one video of me doing a golf swing and they deleted it out of the video. So y'all didn't get to appreciate my golfing, but I actually I hit the guy that was picking up the balls in the little cart. So it felt like a win to me. Right.
Yeah.
It was an accident.
Absolutely.
But it was still a win for me. How's y'all's golf game? Y'all think you could beat me?
I'm pretty bad.
I'm pretty bad also. I will say I've gotten a little better.
We're all benchwarmers out there.
Yes. I'm still trying to break 100 for the first time. I hit 100.
True score though, like you're truly scoring yourself and you can't hit it. Like a lot of people say they shoot like at 100, under 100, but they're lying on their score.
Yeah, it depends
They're
like
lying.
what you're giving.
If
as
you're
a
playing
good putt.
if you're playing drops, out of bounds, water, no mulligans, like it's kind of hard.
I shot a 103 last week. It was
Ryan also bought the campus course membership.
it was a gift.
Nice.
It was a gift. So basically,
It was
A&M
definitely worth it though because I've gotten my money's worth.
Yeah, because you didn't pay for it originally. But back to my point, the campus course membership is too much.
I wouldn't say it's
How
too
much
much
is it?
because
$800
the thing is
For
the
a year?
alternatives.
Semester.
There's no.
4 months.
Semester.
4 months.
I feel like
Unlimited
the
golf.
The campus course isn't very like.
It's $40 in the week, $60 on the weekend. But I will say the alternatives are
Briarcrest.
not great. Briarcrest is
Team
impossible.
Team Briarcrest. So
Even
it's-
people that are good at golf say Briarcrest is extremely tough. It's narrow. If you get in the trees,
That's
you have
how
to
you get
punch
better.
out. It's
so you
completely
get better.
It's so frustrating.
Bro, I'm just gonna say for how bad I am at golf, Briarcrest $9 walking during the week. It's the best bang for your buck. I'm not gonna spend $40 to do something I'm bad at.
Well, if you get the membership, you
We'll
get paid
get
off
good
over
then,
time.
Jake. Come on.
No, I just go for
Plus,
the.
you're from the Woodlands. All of the golf you have around you is surrounded by trees. You should be good at the narrow drives.
No, those courses are nice, so they're actually wide, but I've actually never.
Jake's a big
Have you
driver
played
off
on
the deck kind of
TPC?
guy.
Yeah, I took out the clubs I don't hit. In my bag, I have a putter, a wedge, a 7-iron, my driver, and another driver that I use as a wood that I hit off the deck.
You're just handicapping yourself so hard with that.
The driver on the deck just skips like 150 yards and just like that in between like gap because I can't hit like a low iron. But
You know what? Let's just chalk it up to we all suck at golf and we need to get practicing if we're going to be professionals in this world.
It's like I love
feel like
playing.
it's good for networking.
I love playing. I just hate practicing. It's just practicing is just
Agreed.
so boring.
it's frustrating.
All right, Jake's thoughts. I feel like we've been skipping this segment a lot, but this is supposed to be an integral part of this podcast. What are some of Jake's thoughts this week?
Okay. A man was put on the moon 50 years ago. Why can't I send text messages and get phone calls in certain locations?
Okay, I
major
think
cities.
Man on the Moon was fake. I'm a big conspiracy theorist, and I think it was fake. Do I sound dumb?
There's no way that was fake. Are you kidding me?
I think it was fake.
What?
I think how
Earth
are
is
we?
flat too.
Yeah, the Earth is
How
also
are
flat,
we not
guys.
just like chilling up there all the time now? I feel like technology has advanced so much since then.
Over 50 years. 1969.
It's like 60. Yeah,
1969.
it's advanced so much since then. How are we not?
The thing is, the moon doesn't
Past that.
provide any natural benefit to us.
that
I mean,
we don't know of yet.
exactly. So I'm saying,
There's
I say
actually-
focusing on Mars because Mars has potential of being something that we could utilize. Obviously,
That's a unicorn.
I would say you either go.
Unicorn company. No, but I think why is my it's 2022. Like, come on. Like, why can't I load text messages and I get green text messages or can't call someone? Just at Chili Fest. That's my biggest argument. At Chili Fest,
I think there's just no
we're
towers
less
out
than
there.
we're less
You're in the
than
middle
we're
of
less
nowhere.
than 35 minutes away from College Station in a field, and you can't call or
I
do
also
anything.
relate that to being in an area with so many people. Think about like at a sports event, the cellular service
Why
really
can't we
Oh,
just
lacks.
have-
Kyle Field is a dead zone.
Exactly.
No,
It's
actually,
just-
there's actually good Wi-Fi.
there is good Wi-Fi.
What?
No, I'm saying
Yes,
like if you go
there's
to
My
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi sucks in there.
No.
if you go to like Spurs games, the service is horrible.
It's because there's too many people in one
There's so many
location.
exactly. There's so many people in
So
one
let's fix
location.
it. Let's not.
That's above my pay
You
grade.
fix
All
it.
right,
It's above
let
my
me
pay
call
You
AT&T and figure it out.
I'm gonna add to this. I also like going off of the whole space thing. I heard this in a podcast. Who named Earth? Because if you look it up online,
God.
it says we don't know. No one knows who named Earth. Because it's not named after like a Roman or Greek god or goddess.
Stop making me think so much. That's too much to think about.
Okay.
That's like chicken or egg, which came first.
Jake's thoughts. I was actually in the air when the COVID mask mandate ended in the airplane.
Did you get it ripped off?
No, they didn't announce it on our plane. But I saw videos when they like announced it and like they're like there's cheering, people just ripped them off. But like I was actually in the air at that time over Easter weekend and they didn't do that. But then I landed and saw like nobody wearing a mask and I checked my phone. I was like, oh.
It's honestly about time for that.
I mean, like, yeah, that's cool, but I feel like people shouldn't have been ripping them off on the plane. Like, what if someone on the plane didn't want that, you know?
Yeah, that's true. There were
This
also
isn't a
there were also
political
people. Yeah,
podcast.
we don't want to get into that.
Let's skip.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Let's talk about, like, what's going on in our lives. We'll cap it off with talking about our futures and our careers because, you know, we're old. The semester's coming to an end. What's happening to the Benchwarmers? Jake, go first.
I am finishing up. I have 4 summer classes in May, and then I'll technically be graduating in August, but I'll start work July 25th.
With your master's.
With my master's, yeah.
Yes.
And then July 25th, I start work. I'll be in New York City for 6 weeks for training. That should be a lot of fun. But in between,
What company?
Barclays. It's a bank. But I am going to Europe all of June and partly up to July.
Where's my invite? Because I will show up.
You'll show up?
I will show up in Europe.
Bring it.
Send me the
Bring
dates.
it,
I'll be
bring it.
there.
Yeah,
At
but
least
I
wish.
want to be gone as long as possible because like when are you gonna have this time to do it again?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But I also my friend has a free place to stay in Mount Blanc, France, so it's really pretty. So kind of caught a silver bullet right there.
Jealous. And are you gonna keep coming back to College Station for the podcast?
Negotiation talks with Brandon Jones and Billy Lucci, but we'll see how it goes.
What about you, Ryan?
Let's see. So right now, I'm also only a junior. Some of you are younger than y'all, but I have.
Cheers.
Oh my
I'm turning
gosh.
24 this year.
Oh my gosh.
Don't
I forgot
look at me
we
like
talked
that.
about that. It's okay. You look great. Anyways.
Thanks, Ryan. That's my first compliment.
You're like a
from
day
you.
over 22.
There you go.
Okay, so myself, I'm only a junior, so I'm about like 113 hours, so I only have like 6 or 7 classes left. Taking my DAT May 12th, which is like
What's that?
It's like the MCAT equivalent for dental school.
Got you.
So if I do good enough on that, then I will be applying to dental school this summer, which is terrifying to think about. I'm so nervous, but other than that, I have a class for the summer. I'm going to Nashville with my family, celebrate the 21st birthday.
Ryan will be the only 2 people in the house in May.
It's going to
Are
be
you
real.
20?
No, I'm
Thanks,
21. I turned 21 in December.
Okay.
I went to Vegas with my dad and my brother.
Didn't get the invite.
Of course not. And then I'm going to Nashville with my mom, my stepdad, a couple of my brothers and stuff. That's going to be fun. I'm excited for that. And then I have a class.
I was about to say there's no way you're 20 and I
Can
didn't
we
know.
Can we dive into the fact that I literally went to the dentist yesterday and Ryan wants to do that for a living? That's just such a weird
Well, I'm
dream.
never gonna go to the dentist again. I'm just gonna call you.
There at our house, we kind of have
friends.
like, what do you bring to the table? Like Tanner's gonna build our lake houses. Ryan's gonna get us free dental care.
What do you bring to the table? Money?
I don't know, money. I don't know. We got to figure that one out still. But
Yeah.
it's like, at least Ryan's bringing us free.
Can you
dental.
manage my investments?
Maybe.
Or you're not that type of guy?
Not really that type of.
Jake's
guy,
going to be a
that's okay.
slimy banker breaking laws left and right.
That's fine.
make a
with
quick
me.
buck.
As long as you're breaking them for my benefit.
I want
Yeah.
stock advice,
Kennedy,
insider trading.
what's up with you?
Oh Lord. I've got 4 weeks left in my track career. Terrifying. If I didn't run fast
Nationals is 6 weeks away.
let's not kid ourselves, okay? I'm making it to regionals.
Let's be real.
I'm making it to regionals and then hanging the hat. No, if I didn't run fast last week, my career was gonna end this weekend. Cause like I wouldn't have made conference, which freaks me out. But no, I got my crap together. I ran fast last week, so got 4 weeks left of track. And then this weekend, I'm trying out for the Texans cheer team for the NFL. I'm not saying I'm gonna make it. I'm not saying that at all. Because
How are
I'm
you
not
feeling?
unflexible. That's how I'm feeling.
Do you think the podcast helps your chances of making the cheer team, or
I don't think
what,
it,
It's like it can't hurt.
Is it bad
It
for
can't
your
hurt.
image?
I don't know. I don't know if there's a correlation or not, but
Inside joke.
inside joke. Sorry.
If you know, you know. Yikes.
No, I think all of the stuff we're doing has kind of upped my social media game a bit, which can't hurt when you're doing like a public job like
It's a
that.
brand.
Yeah, a little bit of a brand.
One of my
So-
friends actually sent me your profile after we posted the podcast yesterday and was like, when did Kennedy get so many followers?
I don't know. Like, I had 5,000
Russian
as of
TikTok
2 months
happened.
ago. Russian TikTok started it.
But we should lose
now,
all those followers because Russia's bad.
No. Yeah. Well, a lot of my follower base now is from Mexico City. So, like, everyone that comments on my page, it's all in Spanish. And I don't
Do
know.
we know
I
that
find it
a lot of
interesting.
other countries speak Spanish?
No, it shows the exact
Oh, okay,
location.
okay.
Mexico City.
The fact that you have 55,000 followers and we have 625 on our page, you need to boost that.
I
need.
post everything we post.
Yeah, but
you know,
stories are different than posts.
Stories, you probably get like a few thousand people seeing
Okay,
it.
I
If you
posted-
post it on your page, you probably get like 25,000 people seeing
I
it.
No,
think
I
I've-
posted a picture of us in the studio one time. Not a lot of likes.
We need to
Not a lot
update
of
it.
people liked it.
We
But
need
I
to
think,
update it.
but I think you could always delete it. I think we're gonna need.
We've
you.
done that before. We've had me do the like
Collab.
co-post and then
But we should
I mean,
do
your,
it. We should do it
your
again.
Canes post got like a few thousand likes, right? And that's just a post about Canes.
Sell
People-
out,
half the people
sell out.
You
don't
would
even know
sell
what
out
Canes
too.
is.
too.
You would sell out too, and you know it, Jake. Come on. But no, I'm also when I'm talking about my actual career, other than like maybe being a Texans cheerleader, which who knows if I'm gonna make it or not. I also am looking at working here for a while to finish out my grad degree. I'm gonna.
Wait! Don't throw out all the negotiation talks. We're
not
I'm your
even in
agent.
the
I'm
talks
your
yet.
agent though, but you can't.
I
show
see
your,
my boss out the window.
Can't show your hand.
I see my boss out the window, but
Kenny,
yeah,
go.
no, can't
Yeah.
talk, can't show my hand. Sorry, but I'm thinking about maybe working at TexAgs through my grad degree, which ends in December,
Sounds
and
fun.
then we'll see what happens beyond there. But you know, I'm trying to get my sports reporter game working up, and this is helping a little bit. So,
Can we get an update on Asa
oh yeah, I'm repping the Royals right now. Asa's currently in
on the Naturals?
AA on the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. Yeah,
Dude,
I
you
just
dating
found
him, or
out.
is Kennedy?
I just know baseball's my thing.
Are you in love? I just found out that their mascot, I just thought it was like the Naturals. No, they're the Screaming Chickens.
What?
Screaming
It says
Chicken.
Naturals on the jersey.
Yeah, but like
Like their actual mascot.
Ace's mom got a headband from the place, and it
Looking this
literally
up.
is a screaming chicken, and it says the Screaming Chickens. And I thought that was hilarious.
A lot
But no,
of-
he's doing good. I went and saw him and the team this weekend in Frisco, and the facilities from high A to double A,
Frisco's is really nice.
so nice. It is like the biggest upgrade I've ever seen. And it's crazy like how much different you get treated in each level of minor leagues. Like from high A to double A, you're treated significantly better. And from double A to triple A, significantly better. Like you
So
get
let's-
paid
let's
more,
put-
you get better food.
Let's put on everything I kind of relate to is like how much a Chipotle costs. So like let's relate it to Chipotle. So like before he was getting chicken, now he's getting like double steak and guac.
I wouldn't say guac.
Okay.
I would say that
Guac is like, that might be major leagues.
I would say before he was getting like the tacos with chicken. And like, yeah, he's getting full 3 tacos. It's not a kid's meal. It's not like high A, the Fireflies.
So now he's getting the side tortilla and the bowl.
Now he's getting a bowl
This
with
is so stupid.
he's now getting a bowl with steak and like maybe some queso drizzled. I would say AAA is like when we start getting double steak and guac. So, and then majors,
Chips,
we're getting
drink.
catered.
Oh,
We're getting it catered.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Sorry guys, that's how I relate everything.
Can confirm the Naturals are becoming the Growlin' Chickens
Growlin'
on August
Chickens.
9th and 10th.
Growling
Just for that
chicken.
series. The Growlin' Chickens. This is the logo.
Yeah, no, I have a headband with that on it. Turn it around. See if we can get it on that camera.
There's no shot, but we can give it a.
No, we got it. Lift it.
Kind of, maybe.
There we go.
Well,
The Growlin' Chickens.
it's okay.
Very intimidating.
Oh, hold on. Let me just raise it up.
There he is.
There it is.
Growlin' Chickens.
All right, but yeah, he's much happier this year, like the location and everything. Arkansas is so much better. And that's where my regional meet is. He's in Springdale, and regionals is in Fayetteville. So like 15 minutes away. So it'll be perfect. Once my season's done, I'll just sit down and hang out there.
all the worlds collide. For you.
Worlds collide. What sucks, though, is that they're actually away that week. So he won't be able to watch regionals.
That's tough.
Yeah. And we leave Sunday morning, and they come back Sunday night.
Well,
Whatever.
I think definitely this is different for us because we haven't done like a solo Dolo podcast in a really long time. And hopefully it was somewhat enjoyable.
I feel like we fired off a lot of information. And although we didn't have like some star-studded guest, we're pretty cool people.
I think it shows a little bit more personality, what we
Right.
like to do, what we like to talk about, how our natural conversations go in the living room of Clay Street.
Right. I wonder how many people will actually make it through this entire podcast.
Probably not many,
Probably my mom.
I had fun.
My grandfather will listen.
Your grandfather. Anyone in your family?
Probably my mom. My mom's
Okay.
a big fan.
Ryan Steer's dating someone.
T! You gonna tell us about it?
No.
And that is going to be the end of our podcast.
And Jake is single as always.
Yes. And thank you so much for listening and stay off the bench.
No,
See
get
ya.
on the bench. The bench is the cool
Oh,
place
yeah,
to be.
get off the.
Get on.
We can never figure it out.
We're not.
Bye,
cut, cut, cut,
Benchwarmers.
cut, 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 cut.
Bye,
See ya.
Benchwarmers.